Hey guys, welcome back. As you know, I've been trying to cut the weight down on the fuel, and I've discovered a product which I think might be the answer. As you know, hexagon blocks are no longer legally allowed in the UK, and I've been looking for alternatives, and I've tried a few, and then just the other day I came across this beauty. So this is the Zip 25 litre cubes, chemical free, powerful, odourless and no food taint. So I'm thinking that because they're so lightweight, they're virtually weightless. I mean, this single cube here seems like it's made of paper. I don't know what else. No chemical smell, just smells like dry cardboard. But it's enough to light a barbecue, according to the product people. So let's try one cube, because if they are successful, they will be able to be used in place of, I don't know if that's going to be showing up the correct way around. I don't know why digital filming does that. I think it's the wrong way around. Anyhow, I've told you what it is. You'll recognise it in the Tesco barbecue corner, and it's not cheap, it's £4, but I mean there are enough cubes here to get you through quite a long period of days, probably a week, because if you only use 4 a day it will last you a good part of a week. So let's give it a test, time it and see if we can boil up some good hot water. So I'm going to set the camera up first. Right, so let's crack on. And it was one of my subscribers who suggested to me that I should just burn twigs with a bit of meth, which means I don't have to carry fuel. But this could be the answer to all one's problems. So let's put one cube in here in the hope that it works, and a little splash of meth on the cube for easy lighting. Obviously if you have a cigarette lighter, that'll do the trick. But I'm just assuming that if you don't have a cigarette lighter, old school is best. That went quick. Now, we'll just pop in here I've got half a mug of water, and that should boil within 4 to 5 minutes if the heat's good. And we'll just put it there. So while the 4 to 5 minutes gets underway, I just want to say to you that getting the kit below 12 kilos is a challenge if you're taking food and fuel and water and clothing for 4 days, 3 or 4 days. So I'm trying to get it down to 12 or 15. If I can do that, that's, you know, a success story. I'll be getting a bit of feedback on my last video about the kit I was taking, so mostly positive comments, but also some advice as well. And one guy wrote in saying that he could never get his kit below 15 kilos, which I think is honest and fair, because that's usually the situation. But you know, we've got our kit down from 25 to about 15 at the moment, so I'm going to keep fighting and finding ways so that I'm still discarding equipment and not taking extra luxuries. I knew a sergeant once. He told me, an old sergeant who used to recruit and train new people in the forces, and I think he was at the Cosbys originally in NLP. He said that even his toothbrush was cut in half for compactability, and everything was just scrutinised and kept at bare minimum as part of his field training, and that went back to the 1950s and probably earlier. He was a good age by then. So yeah, the army has always had a fairly strict regime of only take what you need. I don't know if anybody watched Metal Jacket, the movie. You know, the command officer, training officer there would pull all the tidy kit out of their kit boxes, pour it on the floor. It was ruthless, and I only did a month of that square bashing with the forces in my late teens, and it was the same there. You thought you had your bed perfect and your cupboard packed perfect, and everything was just perfect, and if you had one wrinkle or something that was slightly askew, the whole damn lot was pulled out and thrown on the floor, and you had to start again. But that is the discipline of survival. You have to make sure that your kit is where it should be, how it should be, usable, and only take what you can use. As it's obvious common sense. Even the Boy Scouts probably practice the same process. And the Girl Guides, not to be sexist in any way. So where are we with this? So I'm trying to get my kit to the point where it doesn't break my back, and with lower disc issues I have to be careful not to push too hard. At the same time, with dehydration and diabetes, you have to drink a lot of fluid, so you need to process the fluid. So I've got 2 or 3 weeks before I head out, so I might invest in a good water purification bag. Boyle should be with us in about 4 minutes, I hope. Now, this is supposed to be odorless. As you can see, there's a bit of smoke coming up from the sides. So it's clearly burning something, but apparently non-toxic. And that's all good as well in the field. You don't want fumes to be detected of any shape or form. Of course, if you're in a remote place, a few twigs wouldn't break the camel's back, so to speak. So that's allowed. Well, this is burning quite brightly. As you can see, it's looking good. So the plan, the other fuel while we were waiting for this to boil, was these barbecue cardboard. They burn well as well. I found that if I use 2 or 3 of those very lightweight cardboard based fuels, they actually burn long enough to bring about a half a mug or more to cook. And downside of those is that I did discover there was quite a bit of black residue under the BCB mug, but I mean that might just be the glue or something, or a bit of resin there. So back to the storyline. Welcome to my secret garden, by the way. I sit here every morning very early and have my first coffee brew of the day, contemplate every morning and try and get my head around what the day might bring. And it's a good thing to be still, to sit quietly, to zone in. Oh, there's quite a bit of smoke coming off that, look. Quite a bit of reek. But, as it says on the package, no smell. So as we see, oh, it's turned up the right way now. 20 natural firelighter cubes, chemical free, powerful, odorless, and no food taint. So yeah, I think this is promising. As you can see, you get quite a generous supply, which is really nice. I think that it say 20. So if you're using 5 a day, which is probably there's enough for 2 days, perhaps, bug out. But the weight, even the whole box, feels to me like it is lighter than even the bottle of meths. So far, this fire has been burning for about 3 to 4 minutes, and it's still going strong, and it's looking quite promising. So back to the cubes again. They are extremely lightweight. Now, I was thinking that I could store enough in a square mess tin and transport them that way and use the mess tin. That's one option, but I still cannot break with my very bonded relationship with this Mark 1 BCB setup. I mean, it really is fantastic. Let's see if we're quite near a boil. They're certainly hot enough to drink, not quite a boil. So according to the timer, that's 4 minutes 58, but then I did start late. So it's it's probably 7 minutes, so I reckon it's 1 minute from boil, it should be. And this is of course in summer conditions. If you were using it in winter conditions, it would take quite a bit longer. but 1 cube is doing the job, I think. It's not what you call a rolling boil, but it's certainly getting close. Normally, as we know, it takes roughly about 8 minutes or 9 minutes to boil a half a mug of BCB liquid or food. So we're on target. And the other reason that I feel I don't want to take liquid fuel is where I'm going, the forest floor could be a risk any time between late spring and late summer. You have to be very careful. Yeah, we have a boil now. You have to be very careful not to set fire with liquid fuel such as meths if the fuel creeps over the sides. So with a solid fuel, that's highly unlikely. So that's a boil now. So that's a good rolling boil. So that took, according to the timer, 7 minutes, but with a late start it's done what it should, a good rolling boil within 8 or 9 minutes. So that is just as efficient as the old hexi blocks, and that was just one of those. Isn't that fantastic? I think we have an outcome. Back to the ruck issue, I'm tempted to use the large Bergen or the Northern Ireland Patrol Pack because I like the simplicity of it. I'm kind of falling out of favour with the other ruck I have because the compartments are too small, the Viking Patrol Pack. I understand my colleague and friend put me onto this particular ruck because he's used them often and he likes everything to be compact, and he's very good and orderly. So maybe it's still got a shout, but I like slapdash, quick, pack quick, sort of easy simplicity, and I like the pouches on the Northern Ireland Patrol Pack because they're generous, so you can drop in your BCB, and of course the BCB gives you a big helping of water for sterilising. So all in all, I think this is a success. So it gets 10 out of 10, and I'll just give you that one more time. That's the Zip File Outer Cubes, 100% natural. It's got a life of its own. So okay, £4, which is not cheap, but at the end of the day it's about safety and proficiency. So thanks for listening, guys. We're happy, we have a result. Till next time, out. Welcome back again, guys. As an outtake, I should mention that about 2 minutes ago the water boiled and it was ready for use. And look, it's still going strong. Isn't that amazing? So as an outtake, I just want to mention that because it burns quite a bit longer than you'd expect, this might be doubly efficient. You could also put twigs over this and do a second boil, all from 1 cube. So that's real versatility in my opinion. So I think this is a good choice. Have a look at the base of the BCB, and as you will probably see, it's pretty mucky. But what I normally do when I have a mug like this is when it cools down, is I give it a good rub in the grass and put it into my liner before dropping it into the side pouch. So I do use a liner, which is this thing here, and it slides in and out dead easy, and it keeps all the muck contained. So that's my system. So there's always a way. So that's me finally finished this short film. Until next time, guys, once again, Harry out.